welcome back. Today we're carving a pumpkin for Halloween. I actually already carved one and I have it here. I'll do the reveal when I'm done with this one. But in today's video, I want to carve the big one. So the first thing you need to do before carving the pumpkin is wash it. I know a lot of pumpkins, especially if you went to a pumpkin patch, they'll have a lot of dirt on them and you don't want to get that on your countertop, you don't want to get that on your table, and you want your pumpkin to be clean, you don't want it to be full of dirt. So I already did that. My pumpkin is clean and washed. The next thing you want to do is identify the face of the pumpkin. So that's the part where you're going to carve on, and I know it doesn't have to be a face, but that's the side that's going to be displayed. So this pumpkin, this is actually a pretty awesome pumpkin. It's really round and well shaped, but all the pumpkins I have around me are like this one. But there are pumpkins that are more like lopsided, so you want to take the wider side or the longer side and use that side as the face, the side that you're going to use to carve on, because you'll have more space there and it'll look better when you put the candle in it and it's lit up for people to see. So you wash your pumpkin, you find the face of the pumpkin, and then the next thing you want to do is cut the lid off. So make a hole in the top of the pumpkin so that you can scoop everything that's inside the pumpkin out, clean it, and then get to carving. So I have tools for pumpkin carving. I have a scooping spoon, I have a carving knife, if you consider this a knife. I have a smaller one for those smaller details that you're making in the pumpkin. And then I have a tracing device, which if you draw on the pumpkin, you can use this to sort of poke little holes, and then it'll be easier to carve with your carving tool. And when you're carving the hole on the pumpkin, just make sure that it's wide enough so that your whole hand fits in there. And if you're using something like this, a scooping spoon, the spoon fits in there comfortably and you can scoop everything out. And also just make sure, because you already identified the face of the pumpkin, you know which side it's going to go forward. So make sure that in that side, the line is more towards the back, and then towards the back of the pumpkin, you can go further down with that hole. Because the last thing you want to do is make a hole that takes away part of the face of your pumpkin. So with that said, I'm just going to go ahead and cut a circle around my pumpkin so that I can start scooping. Okay, so if you're doing this with kids, I highly recommend having a plastic mat on the table, because you're gonna get little bits of pumpkin flying all over the place as you're carving into the pumpkin. So now that I carved the top of my pumpkin, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the lid off, and yeah, you need to pull a little bit to get it off, because it's gonna come off with all of these seeds and gunk that it pulls out. If you're not using any of the insides, you can throw them away, but you can always save the seeds and just make roasted pumpkin seeds, which are pretty easy to make, and you can make them in like 40 minutes. Use the knife to cut off everything that was hanging from the lid. It's really easy. I just cut it off directly into the pumpkin. Now I'm going to take everything out. So here's my lid. I'm going to put that to the side. I'm going to take my pumpkin scooper, and I'm going to start scooping my pumpkin. Okay, so this is my first spoonful. I think this is something really fun for little kids. Like if they want to get all inside the pumpkin and just start scooping out all of the insides and the seeds. Okay, I'm done cleaning my pumpkin. This is everything that I scooped out of it. And again, I'm gonna save this because I want to use the seeds and roast them. So I need to wash this, clean this, and make sure I separate the seeds. So with my pumpkin, I think I'm using this side as the front. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it this way. But before I start carving, I need a design. And if you don't have a design, you can always Google one. If you don't, you can buy one of these stencil sheets. They sell these at Target. I think I got mine for $4. And it comes with a lot of cool, fun designs. They have different levels of difficulty. So of course, if you go more towards the back of the book, they're more complicated. Stuff like that. I think the last one is a haunted house, but I'm not gonna use this today. I'm not gonna follow any of these. I'm actually going to do the very traditional jack-o'-lantern face. So the 2 triangles for the eyes, the little triangle for the nose, and then the mouth. So I just changed the angle of the camera so you can actually see me drawing on the pumpkin. I'm doing the very traditional jack-o'-lantern. So okay, so I just drew the face on my pumpkin. This triangle is one eye. Here's the other eye, here's the nose, and here's the mouth. And ideally, you don't want to use, well, you could use like a Sharpie or a magic marker, but if you make any mistakes, it's going to be harder to get it off the pumpkin, and people might tell. So I made a few mistakes with the pen, but I was just able to just wipe them off. So all I did was draw the face on it, and now I'm going to carve it. And when I'm carving, I like to take the lid off just in case I have to go from the inside and sort of pop those pieces off. But carving this should be really easy. It shouldn't take long. So I'm gonna go back and use my carving tool. This pumpkin, I think I mentioned this, the pumpkin is very thick, so it might be a little bit hard to get these pieces to come off. But if you have a thinner pumpkin, it's going to be a lot easier. But all you have to do is go in with your tool and just cut around those sections that you outlined. Okay, I'm done carving the smile or the mouth, so I should be done with my pumpkin pretty much. This is a bigger piece, so it might be a little bit harder to pop out. Seems like maybe a piece didn't fully detach. There we go. It came out, and here we have a carved pumpkin for Halloween, our jack-o'-lantern. It looks really cute. I can't wait to put the candle in it to see how it looks all lit up. This is our pumpkin, all clean with the lid on. I think it looks pretty awesome. That was really easy to do. If you can get a pumpkin carving kit, you can get one from Target. It'll make it a lot easier. I tried to cut the lid with a knife and it was really hard, especially with this very thick pumpkin. So these kits, I think they cost about $3 or $4, and then you can get one of those stencil books, which are also $4, or you can do what I did and just draw a face on it and carve it, which is really easy and it's really fun. Before I light this one, I want to show you a pumpkin that I carved a few weeks ago. Now, this one, because I carved it a few weeks ago and it's been outside and I've lit it, it's not in the best conditions, but I think it looks pretty cool. It's a little witch and she's flying her broom at night. This one was really easy to carve. I'm going to show you the lid for this one. So you can see this pumpkin wasn't thick at all, the inside. And look at the lid of this one. So I think that's why this one was a little bit harder for me to carve with a knife. But if you get a pumpkin like this one, it might be easier to use a knife if you don't have any of the carving tools. I forgot to mention this, and it's really important. If you're lighting your pumpkins, place a piece of aluminum foil around the lid. You can make it so that when you put the lid on, you might not be able to fully tell the aluminum foil is there, but you have an open flame in there, and the fire from the candle, if you're using a real candle, is going to start burning the lid. So if you want your pumpkin to last, you have to do this step. If you don't, you're just gonna burn the lid, it's gonna get all soggy, and you're gonna lose it. Our lids are on. I'm going to go ahead, turn off the lights, and we'll see what they look like. Here we have them, both are pumpkins. This is the little witch that I carved a few weeks ago, but she is holding her shape. You can still see her riding her broomstick. I've been keeping her outside so that the cold sort of preserves the pumpkin a little bit longer. And here is our new jack-o'-lantern, the one we carved today. That's the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you carved some pumpkins for Halloween. Let me know if you liked it. Let me know if you try to carve your own pumpkins, and like, share, and follow if you do. Bye.